This is Trina Rodriguez, CEO and founder of FEMEWork, and I am back to you with episode 7 of Your Right to Ignite. Today, the story is table. Yeah, I can find inspiration in absolutely any word. So here you go. I hope you like it. See you on the other side. When I think of table, I think of equity. Everyone deserves a seat at the table. As young kids at dinners with family, we were always told that we couldn't sit at the big table. There was a children's table prepared for us to eat at. After so many dinners, you began to know your place and where you belonged. Everyone of the same age group had to sit at a smaller plastic table without the fancy trimmings. It was usually the plastic table that had paper cups and forks. And, I was never offended by the fact that our designated spot was not as fancy at the older people's table, because we didn't have to be all proper and quiet, and we could talk with our cousins and be loud and not chastised for talking over one another. Yes, we did get yelled at a few times for being too loud, but that was normal. As I look back, I never minded being at the smaller, less formal table because I felt like I had a spot. And as the years went by and I began to get older, along came more maturity, more responsibility, and of course, the big table. The silverware on the table was really nice, and there was glasses and glass plates and cups. It was just so elegantly placed. Everyone waited their turn to get food, and no pushing and talking over one another. It was, shall I say, a more dignified experience. But it never changed my viewpoint of those dinners. Both were wonderful time with family, time that we could talk and express our feelings, time to catch up, and time to listen and be heard, which is what I think most of us want. They want their seat at the table. Once you've done all the things society says you have to do in order to be heard, appreciated, and successful, you deserve to be treated on the same level as everyone else. Who wants to spend their time fighting and never getting anywhere? I sure don't. I feel like I've made some great decisions in my life to try and set my children and myself up to choose which table we should be able to sit at. I've never wanted my kids to be forced to make decisions based off of circumstances and consequences, and they should have control over. See, my mantra is there are consequences for your actions, whether they be good or bad. Think about the consequence before you do the action. As a result of them doing good in school, attending college, and building upon their knowledge and experience, doors and opportunities should open up, and they should feel empowered and prepared to take advantage of them and walk into spaces that others would dare to venture. Today, my daughters have become an opera singer, an aspiring nurse, a veterinarian, which far exceeded my expectations. But it all started at the first little table where we sat at as children during family dinners. We knew we had a place, and we also knew that there was a time to transition and be elevated into a new space, and it was not feared, but welcomed. You should expect transition and promotions into new spaces once you've done all these societal expectations. But it was between these two tables that we really built relationships, confidence, and opinions. It was at those tables each of us developed a voice. So that was table. I am so glad that there was a spot for me, and that in times of my life and my children's lives, that we knew that transition, it was time for transition, that we didn't have to stay stagnant, right? That we could go to college, or that, we could have families or buy houses. Like, there's time and space for everything. But once you develop that confidence, that courage to speak up and use your voice, that's where your strength and your courage begins to come from. I remember hearing a quote from Michelle Obama that says, "If you're not going to use your voice, then give up your seat at the table." And I agree. I believe that everyone's voice needs to be heard. And that if you just decide that you're going to use it, and that you're going to use it for a good purpose, I hope, that not only people will begin to listen, but they'll want to hear your voice. And so, that's Table. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I can't wait to see what's coming for episode 8, because sometimes it's a surprise to me, just like it is to you. But remember, it is your right to ignite. Bye-bye now.